Hey guys, so today's fragrance review is actually going to be a first impression, and this is going to be a collaboration. I'm actually going to be working with Daver from the Fragrance Bros, and this is going to be a first for me. I've never done anything from this house, and today we're going to be doing James Heeley Sel Marin. I actually got this decant here from Mark Robes 08 the last time I went to go visit him. I like my aquatics, my freshies, and Mark was kind enough to give me this along with some of the other ones out there. So I don't know when this was launched or who the nose is, but this is actually classed as an aquatic. Now clearly I don't have the bottle, so let's get into the bottle presentation right now, and then Dave, let us know what your thoughts are on James Heeley Sel Marin.
Hey everyone, I am Daver with the Fragrance Bros. Thank you, Chad, for having me on. Really appreciate it. It is a pleasure to be doing this review with you. So, Sel Marin. Heard a lot of good things about this, mostly good things. And I smelled it, I have a sample of it. Smelled it a few times. I remember smelling it about a year or two ago and being underwhelmed by it. So I revisited it with Chad's reminder that I should probably try this again. I think I may even think less of it now than I did before. It is very much an aquatic. That in itself is a problem for a niche house. How do you make an aquatic that separates itself from other fragrances that are a fraction of the cost? And this one, unfortunately, does not manage to do that. It is very much run-of-the-mill. Aquatics are a dime a dozen, or even cheaper maybe, and this is very much a niche attempt at a pedestrian fragrance, and it smells like a pedestrian fragrance from a niche house, unfortunately. I asked a friend what they thought about Sel Marin. They're big into fragrances as well, and they laughed because they said, how could I form an opinion about something that I can't smell after so many minutes? And unfortunately, I agree that the performance of this is really horrible, like really horrible. First off, it's really light, and second of all, it doesn't last long at all. Both of those things by themselves I can live with to a degree, but if you're paying this amount of money for something that is this light, then I have a problem. And then I have the problem with the scent itself. The scent itself is not horrible, it's not bad, but it's just not good at all. And like I said, it's just a run-of-the-mill aquatic. So you smell citrus in there, whoop-de-doo. You smell salt in there, whoop-de-doo. There's supposedly an algae note, which whatever, it's just a salty green note in there. In some ways, it reminds me of an ocean-scented candle that you find at like a craft store. And it kind of has like that generic ocean smell. As you can tell, I'm not a big fan of this. I would have a hard time recommending this to people out there. I think there are lots of different fragrances that you can get in the aquatic genre and range for very affordable prices compared to this. And there are even some in the niche category that I think are better than this. It doesn't smell horrible, but it's just not good, and it's definitely not interesting or unique. And when you spend money on something like this, you kind of want to have something that's unique and different and, you know, that extra. It also sits in this really strange place where it's not fresh enough for me for summer. It's not refreshing, but it's not warm enough for fall or winter. It sits kind of in this middle ground to where I'm not really sure or comfortable when to wear this. So I'm obviously not a fan. Hopefully that didn't break your heart, Chad, or other people out there. I just don't really care for this. Thanks again, Chad. Really appreciate this, and I'll hand it back off to you.
Okay, so we got Dave's thoughts on this one. So the top notes for this, you got lemon, bergamot, and green notes, with the mid being marine, sea salt, algae, or also, according to Fragrantica, it could be moss and seaweed, or sorry, seagrass. The base is vetiver, cedar, and birch. Now, what I get out of this fragrance is, when I first wore this, I was like, what the hell is this? I thought it was really weird and very different. This is very different from a lot of the other fragrances that I've come across. Just anything along my fragrance journey, I will admit to that, all right? But the first time I was wearing this was actually when I was at work. And sitting in the driver's seat, I'm like, damn, this is really weird. You know, it felt like I was wearing a seaweed necklace with sea salt sprinkled all over it, because that's all I got. I only got the sea salt and the seaweed accord. I didn't get any of the citruses, I didn't get any of the woods, the vetiver, or anything. You know, all I got was this salty greenery, and I didn't like it, you know. But I did like the fact that this does bring back fond memories of some of my past visits before. And this does remind me of my visits to Vancouver, British Columbia. It's like second home to me. And when I smell this one, you know, and this is a pretty strong fragrance. Like, I can smell it from here, you know, and it's ultra green. It's kind of reminds me of the times that I've been to the Stanley Park seawall, like when I've been riding the bike or I've just been walking along the seawall. If you're from Vancouver, you definitely know what I'm talking about here. During the afternoon, the tide goes out and you get a lot of this seagrass, seaweed along the bottom floor, the ocean floor. And you also get a lot of the algae along the seawall itself. That's what I picture, you know, along with the Pacific salty air. You know, I love it. I love the fact that it reminds me of that, because Vancouver is just like, to me, it's the most beautiful place on earth, city-wise, you know. But I love that, like, the fact that the representation of, you know, this is supposed to be like the ocean and everything is spot on. But I love that part, but I don't like wearing that type of fragrance on me, if that makes any sense, you know. So I think that this is pretty much a casual kind of fragrance, mostly suited for the summertime. I say 25 and up. You know, a 20-year-old could definitely pull this one off, but you know, if you're looking to impress the girls, you know, I don't see this really working for you. Now, if you're a younger man who appreciates the artistry and different types of niche fragrances, I think that this would actually do it for you, you know. Cost. Now, this does come with a bit of a cost. I don't know if this actually is sold at Mint, New York, out in Manhattan. That was the first time I ever came across any James Heeley products, you know, but they may sell this one, I'm not sure, but on Lucky Scent, for a 100 ml, you're looking to pay about $180 American. I think it's, you know, you're definitely paying for the representation, the artistry, you know, but the quality in the sense that the longevity wasn't there. Now, I get it. A lot of the freshies, a lot of the aquatics, the clean fragrances, they don't last a long time. But if this is an eau de parfum, which is apparently from what I was able to research, I only got five and a half hours out of that. And if I'm paying that kind of money, I want to get longer longevity life. You know, the projection was maybe about an hour and a half. So the performance really wasn't there. You know, so I was expecting a lot of people not to like this one, because I asked my colleagues and they're pretty much like me. They're everyday people. They don't like large collections. They don't believe in having a large collection. I've sold a lot of my stuff. You know, I'm still downsizing, but they think it's foolish to spend like $180, even if it's Canadian, on a fragrance. You know, I've spent like $250 before, you know, on some very good quality stuff. But a lot of them don't believe in spending that kind of money, you know. So I was expecting them not to like this one. But I was surprised. They actually liked it a lot. A lot of them actually got that sea salt, the citruses, and some of the woods. Some people didn't get the green, you know, which is kind of strange, because that to me it's so prominent. But a few did. They actually liked it overall. It didn't really get any negative comments. They thought it was quite interesting and quite different, which I have to agree. Mark, his exact words, this is from our Facebook chat a little while ago, he thinks that this is the ultimate aquatic in his eyes. I know that he really likes this one, so that's pretty much it, guys. I think that it is, like, quality-wise, you know, spot on with that representation of like the Atlantic or the Pacific or just wherever, right, of the air and the water and everything. But in the end, it's something that I don't want to wear. You know, it's just, I love the artistry and I love the scent because it brings back the memories, but it's something that I can't see myself wearing. So Mark, thank you very much. Dave, a big thank you to you for doing this video with me. Now guys, that is our thoughts on James Heeley Sel Marin. Dave's link will be in the description below. If you're new to the fragrance community, chances are you're not and you're already subscribed to him. But if you're not, do it so anyways, all right? Guys, thanks a lot. We'll see you later. Take care and bye.